जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय। गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा। गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा। नित्य गौर हरि बोल। हरि बोल। हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल। So Hare Krishna, let us start with the shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhirayed Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So let me quickly share the shloka. So today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.5, and the name of the chapter is Maharaj Parikshit cursed by Brahmana boy. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Tavat kalirna prabhavet, tavat kalirna prabhavet, pravishto apiha sarvatah, pravishto apiha sarvatah, yavad isho mahan puryam, yavad isho महानोर्याम अभिमन्यु एकराट अभिमन्यु एकराट. Word by word meaning. Tavat, so long. Kali, the personality of Kali. Na, cannot. Prabhavet, flourish. Pravishtaha, entered in. Api, even though. Iha, here. Sarvataha, everywhere. Yavat, as long as. Isha, the Lord. Mahan, great. Uryam, powerful. Abhimanyu, the son of Abhimanyavaha, the son of Abhimanyu, Ekarat, the one emperor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that personality of Kali will flourish. Purport. As we have already explained, the personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. But he could not do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. That is the way of good government. That disturbing element like the personality of Kali will always try to extend their nefarious activities, but it is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. Although Maharaj Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali, at the same time he gave no chance for the citizens to be swayed by the personality of Kali. Umagyanatmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मयं सदा ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय. पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनदारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So, like we see in this shloka, that Kali is trying to enter. So, before I start, I also want to take all your blessings and blessings of the senior Vaishnavas, and thank you for giving this opportunity to me. So, whatever I speak, whatever I have learned from my seniors, I will try to speak the same thing, and hopefully, we all can learn few things from this. So. Here we see that Prabhupada is mentioning that the personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. So, by reading scriptures, we know very well that there are four yugas. There is Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar, and Kali Yug. So, these cycle, they are going to progress. They are going to follow each other, and there is no control over that. And when it was a time for Kali to enter, Kali was finding very difficult because that time, for his bad luck, the ruler was the son of Abhimanyu, Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj had such a great legacy that all his ancestors were so pious, such a powerful rulers, and such pious people, devotees. Yudhishthir Maharaj and his own, grandfather Arjuna, Bhimsen, Lord Krishna was present, and all wonderful. He had this legacy of this wonderful generation, and under his leadership, Kali was finding it very difficult to enter. He was not finding any chance, any opportunity to come in. And then we see that Parishit Maharaj did provide him a place, but at the same time, Prabhupada is mentioning he gave no chance for the citizen to be swayed by the personality of the Kali, and that is the caliber of a powerful, pious, and auspicious king, which was Parikshit Maharaj. And that is what happens when the king is pious. The entire kingdom flourishes like anything. There are rains. There are grains produced by the Mother Earth, and everybody is happy, including the animals. It is not that we have a king and he is very just and pious, and under his leadership we have all the human beings who are happy, but at the same time we have nice, wonderful, places for the non-vegetarian food. So that is not the not the quality of a great king. Under great king, every jiva, every living entity is very happy. So we were talking about the four yoga cycle, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. And when the Kali comes, so these things are going to happen. The Kali is also known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So there is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita which says, Katya dhyayate Vishnu tretayam yajito makhi dwapare parichayam kalo tad hari kirtanat. So Prabhupada is writing in the translation. He says, whatever results are obtained in the Satyuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in the Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So even though Kali is entering, but there is a wonderful opportunity, and we must know that there are Yuga dharmas, and that is something which we need to be very, very careful and mindful about. Sometimes people try to imitate what people of Satyuga used to do. They used to go to the forest and they used to perform tapasya, very long tapasya they used to do. And sometimes people think, okay, let me also do tapasya. But mind you, their purpose is not attaining the supreme. The purpose is to attain some siddhi, to attain some power, to attain some fame, name, and glories. That is what they want. And they try to imitate, okay, I will do tapasya, and they go to Himalayas and blah, 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 a lot of things they do. And sometimes they also develop some siddhis, by taking some association, they learn something. But again, that they learn for the material benefit, so it is hopeless because they have wasted so much of time and they have learned something only to gain material, name and fame, which will be lost. It is the same thing like it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, where it is mentioned that people of less intelligence, they worship demigods. And why it is mentioned less intelligence? Because they are asking the material benefits. They are not asking something which is going to go with them all the time. That is why they're called men of less intelligence, alp buddhi. So similarly, these people who go to the Himalayas and other places and perform tapasya, not for attaining the supreme, but only for the material siddhis, they are also the people of less intelligence, even though they may appear to be sadhu with big, big beards and not wearing clothes, having so much of capacity to survive in the cold and in the heat, but still they are not sadhus because they are not, propagating the holy name of the Lord. They are not glorifying the Lord. They are only attaining the material siddhis. So there was a time when Prabhupada was there, and at that time there was a person who had developed a siddhi to walk on the water. So somebody came to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, see, he's such a person who is very powerful, who is doing miracles, and he can walk on the water. You see, Prabhupada, he is such influential person. He's so important. He's so nice. So Prabhupada said, that is only a 50 paisa job for me. So people said, why 50 paisa? He's developed such a siddhi. So Prabhupada said that I don't have to, waste my life for developing a siddhi, which I can aram say, do by just, paying 50 paisa to the boatman and cross the river. So to cross the river, I don't have to waste my life doing so much of sadhana, tapasya, and then coming with that quality that I can walk on the water. It is not required. We don't need to walk on water. We have a boat which can take us, from one side to other side. We don't have to develop that. But again, that person had developed this only for gaining material name and fame, which is again a hopeless thing because it will be lost with the body. So that is the point we need to understand. We need to respect the Yuga Dharma. And Yuga Dharma in the Satyuga was the people used to perform big, big tapasyas. And remind you, those tapasyas were to meditate on Vishnu. It is not that, it is mentioned clearly, Kratya Dhyayate Vishnu. It is not mentioning any other demigod or any other, Devata. It is mentioning clearly Kratya Dhyayate Vishnu. So that is the point. And in the Treta Yuga, it was by performing sacrifices. So those sacrifices, sometimes we see some very rich people, they are very, very puffed up by their money. So they want to perform some sacrifices, but they can never match the sacrifices which were performed in the Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, the sacrifices quality was like, they used to invite Lord Shiva, they used to invite Lord Brahma and all other devatas, and they never used to use those matchstick to light that Yagna Kunda. They used to directly invite, my dear Agnidev, please come and enter. And Agnidev used to come and enter. And that is how these yagnas were performed. And there used to be a lot of ghee which was utilized, the pure ghee which was utilized in the yagna. And then there was a lot of donation which was given. Nowadays, rich people, what can they give? They can only give some shawls or some water bottle or juice or something like that, which is very, very cheap. But at Treta Yuga, when they were performing sacrifices, that time they were distributing cows, they were distributing gold, they were distributing palaces, they were distributing kingdoms to the Brahmanas and people who used to come to the kings. So can we match that Yuga? We can never match. So we can never match Satyuga. We can never match Treta Yuga. Say another quality of Satyuga was there were no doors in the houses. So can we match that? We have doors, we have CCTV cameras, we have a dog sometimes in our house, we have security guard, but still we see that people are stealing. There are thieves, there are robberies. So we can never match Satyuga, we can never match Treta Yuga. Now talk about the Dwapar Yuga. So age of Dwapar was to perform the deity worship, elaborate deity worship. There used to be deity worship for 9 hours where nicely deities were decorated. Now we understand from our own example how difficult we find to worship our own altar. And if you have deities, you will be understanding the importance and the effort which goes in the deity worship, right? In the age of Kali. So just imagine if you are worshipping the Lord for 9 hours. Forget 9 hours, we are not able to worship for 1 hour also. So if you're worshipping 9 hours, we have to leave our job. And when we leave our job, then our children cannot go to school. We cannot eat. We cannot survive in Bangalore city. So it is difficult. We cannot match even Dwapar Yuga. And remember, Dwapar Yuga, Krishna was present in his personal form, right? So we are in the Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga is known as the Iron Age. Iron Age. We would have, studied a lot of, geography in our textbooks. So Iron Age, all those things are there. So Kali Yuga is also termed as Iron Age, and in this age of Kali Yuga, there is always quarrel and hypocrisy. So quarrel is something which I don't have to explain to all of you. I think we all have experienced quarrel in different fields, right? We go to office, there is quarrel. Sometimes in the family also there is quarrel. There are disputes. Sometimes in the devotees also there are quarrels and disputes. There are fights. So quarrel is something which is the nature of Kali Yuga. So we don't have to feel bad about a devotee or somebody. It is the nature of the Kali. We have to just see that how we can avoid ourselves to be a part of it, right? Then hypocrisy. Let us talk about hypocrisy. So hypocrisy is something. I'll give you an example. There's a person in my office. So whenever this person goes out and sees a dog, so the person says, "Oh, such a cute dog, such a nice dog, or such a lovely dog. I have to take care of the dog." And when this person sees some birds, "Oh, such a nice birds, wonderful birds. Come, we should feed the birds." This person will feed the pigeons. And then similarly, when they see any goat and all, they say, "Such a nice, beautiful, cute goat." Okay, but when they go for lunch, they order, "Can you get me some mutton soup? Can you get me some chicken biryani or chicken tandoori or chicken chili, whatever it is, right?" So see, on the one hand, they're saying they are loving animals. Animals are very, very, very dear to them. They are cute. But on the other hand, they have something which is, a body of animal. So it is a hypocrisy, right? It is a hypocrisy when we say we should do this, we should do that, but we ourselves don't do it, right? It is a hypocrisy. So Kali Yuga symptoms are quarrel and hypocrisy, and that is how we need to be very, very careful that in this age of Kali we have to safeguard ourselves. How we safeguard, I'll discuss as we proceed further. So there is a lot of things we need to understand, in this shloka is talking about the pious king, right? What is the role of a king and what is the current day king, we can understand. So we have to see the rulers, the people who are ruling the ruling party, or particular government, a particular leader who is the king. So most of the times we see, not all the politicians, but most of the politicians, we see there is a lot of corruption. And I was looking into the statistics of corruption in India. So there is a survey which is conducted by Transparency International. In our office, we have this risk rating of the country because I deal with the transaction monitoring. So there is a report which is published by Transparency International, and that report is called Corruption Perception Index. So this Corruption Perception Index, as per the report, it says India has scored 38 on the Corruption Perception Index, which is that is a score of 38, and the rank of India is 96 out of 180 countries. So you can imagine we are like way behind. When the corruption is there, the country is lacking progress. There is a lot of corruption. We are at 96th position, out of 180 countries, and the score India has got is only 38. And then further, I was reading, it talks about, around 39% of the Indians reported, they need to pay bribe to the public services, correct? And then 79% of the Indians who were surveyed, they stated that corruption has adversely affected their lives, indicating there is a direct social impact. And 87% of the people believe that corrupt officials and political leaders are not punished adequately. We have seen a lot of corruptions in the news and all. We see a lot of corruption, multi-million dollar corruptions, right, which is happening. So when these people, they do this corruption, I was just trying to, I was thinking, why, meditating, why these people do so much of corruption? What is that? So the answer I got is like, people, these kind of people, they lack the basic understanding, right? They don't know the basic understanding which a small, small kid which is going to ISKCON can tell, that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. And because these people, they identify themselves as a body, so they do everything which is related to body. They are thinking, let me collect lot of money, as much money as possible, because this money is going to safeguard my generation, right? They identify with the body and they lack the basic understanding from the scriptures. And that is why Prabhupada, I remember when I was reading Prabhupada Lila Amrita, it was mentioned that Prabhupada wrote a letter to Indira Gandhi asking that all the member of parliament should be chanting 16 lines of Hare Krishna Mahamantra minimum and follow four regulative principles. Then they are in a right position to rule. Otherwise, they cannot just rule, right? They need the basic understanding. And we study in Bhagavad Gita, there are a lot of shlokas, like there's a shloka in Bhagavad Gita chapter 220, 2.20, which says, Na jayate mrite va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Simple as that, which says the soul is never born, nor it does ever die, nor having one existed does it ever cease to be. It is unborn, eternal, ever existing, primeval. It is not slain when the body is slain. Then another very famous shloka, Bhagavad Gita 2.13, Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra na muhyati. Very simple, very, very famous shloka. And there is another shloka in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter again, Vasamcha jirnani yatha vihaya namani grahati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. So there are a lot of shlokas. I remember there was one very famous shloka which talks about the nature of the soul. Nainam dahati pavaka. Some shloka is there. Nainam chiddanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka. Na chainam kledyantapo, na shoshati marutaha. So a lot of shlokas, in the second chapter, Krishna knew maybe these people will not read Bhagavad Gita completely. So very second chapter, he summarized Bhagavad Gita talking about the basic understanding that, Are, you are not the body, you are the spirit soul. And then when you are the spirit soul, then what are you doing? Are you doing everything for the body, or you're doing something for the spirit soul also? We remember a very famous story, the bird and the cage, wherein a old woman, she purchases the bird along with the cage, and she's only taking care of the cage but not taking care of the bird, and eventually the bird dies. And similarly, people are doing currently, especially these people who are the ruling parties, they are doing this. They are just polishing the cage, and the bird is dying. So there was a question asked to me that, why is these people having so much money? Because it is generally said the money is Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is with the people who worship Narayana. Then how is it possible that these people who do not worship Narayana, they are having a lot of Lakshmi? So to answer to that is, I heard in one of the lecture that is not Lakshmi. We might think it is Lakshmi. It is not Lakshmi. It is another devotee of the Lord, and that is called Mother Durga. The Durga Devi, appears for them in the form of money. It is not Lakshmi. So Lakshmi brings all auspiciousness, but Durga, who is another wonderful devotee of the Lord, she is there to punish such people who do not utilize the money in the service of the Lord, but utilize only for their sense gratification. As Krishna starts giving more money, these people start increasing their demands of the body, demands related to the bigger houses, demands related to the bigger facilities. So they are not utilizing. So then Mother Durga appears, and then she nicely punishes. So we see that these people who have a lot of money, multi-million-dollar money in their Swiss accounts, multiple land registrations, Benami registrations, a lot of corruptions. They have money in their houses, in their roofs, in their beds. They have hidden so much money. That is not Lakshmi. It is turned into Durga because it is not utilized in the service of the Lord. And what Durga does, these people who are earning a lot of money, they think they are doing good for their family, but they're not doing good for the family, because the same money is utilized by their generation who do not want to work hard, who do not want to follow any scriptures. Why? Because they have a lot of money with them. So they don't want to follow anything, and the result is that they are entering into a lot of sense gratification. And Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka which says, Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya pahata chetsam vyavasatmaka buddhi samadhav na vidiyate. They can never get vyavasayatmik buddhi, they can never get intelligence, and the result is they keep doing a lot of nonsense. And as much as sense gratification they do, their hunger for the sense gratification only increases, and which eventually turns into lust. And when the lust develops, their mind is gone, and they don't know what is right and what is wrong, and they are forced to do something which they don't want to do, because the lust has developed in their heart by a lot of sense gratification. So the people who earn a lot of money and save money only for their families, and the same family members, they think, oh, I've got so many crores in my account, why should I work? Am I a stupid person? Should I be working, going to office and earning few thousands and lakhs when I have 55, 70, 80 crores in my account? Why should I work? I am just going to sit idle. I'm just going to sleep. I'm just going to enjoy. I'm just going to roam around. I'm going to buy the biggest of the car which I like. I'm going to buy the nice bike. And my only purpose is going to be just enjoy. And that is the boon, that is a blessing I've got from my ancestors. And such people only do a lot of sense gratification and develop lust. and finally, bewildered. They develop a lot of diseases, and they develop a lot of troubles. They trouble so many people, and they do a lot of sinful activities, and the result is they go to the sin, they go to the hells, right? So recently I watched this movie, Mahavatar Narsimha, and I recommend, if you have not watched in the theaters, you must plan, take a off or something and go for a movie with your family, because we just enjoyed it. We were around 10 devotees who went together, and the movie is all about, so why I'm mentioning about the movie, the reason is that, I wanted to give the example of Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu was also a top class, number one person who was doing a lot of sense gratification, who went to the extent of declaring himself God. He said, Hiranyakashipu Bhagwan. And he was making, like we study in the scriptures, and the movie is all about, purely from the scriptures. It talks about a lot of references. So one of the places in seventh canto, we hear that Hiranyakashipu declared himself God, and this is what this movie is also mentioning. And Hiranyakashipu tells in the movie that, do all the sacrifices, do all the puja, everything you do, but you don't do for Vishnu, you do it for me. Correct? And that is what I was mentioning in this shloka, Kratya Dhyayate Vishnu. It is not Kratya Dhyayate Hiranyakashipu. So he was making changes into everything, and he was punishing these Brahmanas who were, chanting the glories of the Vishnu. So he converted everything. He did a long tapasya just for, becoming the king and, doing the sense gratification. But how long could he do? He could not do. And Lord was such merciful that, Prahlad, devotee, wonderful devotee, appeared in his family, and he couldn't even, destroy this wonderful devotee Prahlad. So the movie is wonderful. It talks about how Prahlad's preachings are there. How Prahlad is telling in the movie that, he is he is not able to control himself. When we talk about Vishnu, he is automatically attracted towards Vishnu, like iron piece is attracted towards the magnet. In the same way, it is not in his control not to love Krishna, not to love Vishnu. He says it is natural for me. I cannot control doing that, and I'm feeling very bad that all these people are not able to relish that nectar. And for him, this devotee Prahlad, it is not it is not happiness, it is not sorrow. It is only one thing matters, which is the remembrance of the Lord. So movie is very nice. It talks about how Prahlad is worshipping Vishnu. It talks about how Hiranyakashipu is torturing, and we also get the glimpses of Varahadev appearing and killing Hiranyaksha, and a lot of action. Some comedy scenes are also there in the movie. you know so it's a nice combination, and I think we went for the movie for the first time after my marriage, but it was a very nice experience. So you also can go and enjoy this movie, and promote and help, because in India a lot of movies like PK and all those movies, they become very famous, and they earn around 600-700 crores. So we should also give our support to the devotees, and I heard the lecture of Amog Leela Prabhu and many other devotees who are supporting that we should go and watch this movie. So that was about the movie thing, and why I mentioned, because Hiranyakashipu was into a lot of sense gratification, and he could not survive long. So that is the point to understand. And so a quick recap for today's class. Today we have discussed that what is the role of a king, and how a king should be very pious. If a king is pious, then the entire generation is going to be pious. Then second point, we discussed why the kings and rulers are not pious, because they lack the basic understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Especially for them, I think Krishna gave this knowledge in the second chapter only, that if you can't read 18, at least read the second chapter and understand that you are not the body. And when you understand that you are not the body, then don't waste so much time just doing things only for the body. You must do things only also for the soul. There should be a balance, do things for the body, but never ignore the soul, because that is the ultimate one. And when somebody realizes that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, they are not going to do a lot of sinful activities, because sinful activities are required to, fulfill our greed. It is not required to fulfill our need. And then we spoke about Hiranyakashipu. He became so powerful, but still he could not sustain long. He could not enjoy the sense gratification. He was destroyed. So people who are just trying to do a lot of sense gratification, going away from the devotional service, are not going to enjoy at all. They are only going to be in anxiety. Then we talked about how this money, which is with these atheist people, is not Lakshmi, but it is Durga. Durga is another wonderful devotee of the Lord, and she nicely punishes the coming generation of these people who have saved a lot of money, and with using the same money, these people go to the hell. So I will stop here. If I have committed any mistakes, I would like to seek forgiveness. Please forgive me. And if you have any questions or comments, you are welcome. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna।
you for your